Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day, wonderful weekend to you. Taking a look here at SUI, seeing what's going on. As we can see, we got a nice little bounce off that lower support level here, folks. And again, as I mentioned previously, do not consider taking a short until you actually break free from that range. We are starting to see a potential break here of this previous high, establishing new higher highs here and basically an all-time high of 241. Congratulations on that, SUI and whoever else cares. And what we're going to look at, of course, is just points of invalidation and essentially what this means for us in the overall sense, because it's been working within a range. We are still mostly there. If we can bullishly backtest this area of 236 and hold this level, we may be due to continue higher. My personal opinion is that SUI might pull back a little bit just based on the simple fact that I do feel like Bitcoin is going to continue lower. Just to kind of throw it out there, and again, a lot of my altcoin trades are based on Bitcoin. And understand the correlation between the two. While SUI is super strong and a lot of times doesn't really respect what Bitcoin's doing, we got to recognize too, the truth is we're at 14 billion long liquidation delta for Bitcoin, implying that there's way too many longs in the market, and that corrective behavior needs to happen where they either need to close their long positions in profit, which greed is a very real thing, it's probably less likely, or market makers are just going to go ahead and liquidate some longs there and move the price down to 75, maybe 74K. All right, so again, just throwing it out there. That's essentially a premise or a foundation of what I think is important to recognize when trading coins like Solana, SUI, some bigger market cap coins. But again, SUI is one of those weird coins that's been almost inversely paired. Take a look at this here. Bitcoin moving up, and up, sweeps that level of 71,150, slowly pulling back. SUI at the exact same time that Bitcoin is hitting its all-time high, SUI is pulling back to 220. Since then, Bitcoin is dropping, SUI is going up. Strangest thing ever. But this coin absolutely has that potential. So some part of my theory here as to why that happens is money's flowing away from Bitcoin, going right into SUI, and the inverse around. I think they're inversely paired sometimes because of that. But the truth is, no one really knows, and this coin is it's got a mind of its own. So just bear that in mind. But the key takeaway I would say is don't ever short this coin. I've mentioned that in multiple videos. I'm saying that because I've learned my mistake. And while I'm only 50% on SUI overall success rate in general, the shorts are less successful than the longs. There's no other way around it. So just don't short this coin. You can see how volatile it is. It goes hard to the upside. While it can pull back pretty hard, it's less likely to. Okay, so looking at the last 7 days here on the left, this is liquidation. We can recognize that 240 is that heaviest concentration that just got hit. So as I mentioned previously, 250, 255 is that upper range there where we could see the price continue to run. So it would make sense now that we've broken into this little territory, kind of tentatively broken our little high here. We may see a continuation at 250, 260, okay, just based on liquidation alone. But again, we're going to look at overextension and a few other things too. We can see our liquidation delta for SUI is quite high. I wouldn't say this is like astronomically high, but it's pretty large. So we got a lot of liquidation here. Okay, so the truth is, it's one of those things where you want to kind of be careful when there's all-time high territory. I really don't like to be a breakout trader. While the market right now is slightly more forgiving for breakout traders, they're statistically really unsuccessful traders, right? They're going to be the ones that brag and show you about how great they are because they bought the top and they kept going. But for the most part, the average success rate's fairly low, and I speak from experience because there was a time where I tried to be a breakout trader, and it's not super awesome, okay? And so the key takeaway is that when you break through a resistance, that's when you take a trade after a bullish backtest or a solid retest of that resistance, turn support. You don't just jump right into a trade because, we're in all-time high territory, I'm going to FOMO in because Tom, Dick, and Harry online is telling me to do so. That's a poor decision. That's a bad mistake. You might get successful, and there have been probably some successful idiots out there. I call them emotional idiots that have traded this coin with great success. But that train's going to not last forever. And you're going to establish bad habits, poor habits over the time, and it's going to set you up for a lack of success later because you're going to think that's how it really works. Just like people that get lucky when they gamble, and they think that they're just a lucky person. I tell you folks, luck runs out and the house always wins. And we're playing against some big ass market makers in the market, and they are ones that are just going to absolutely destroy you. So just be careful. Anyways, friendly advice. I hope that makes sense and how I describe that. I am terrible with analogies sometimes. In fact, I think half the humor that people get from my channel is the fact that I try to be funny and I'm really not. but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. SMAs, we're above everything, right? So everything in the market, including Bitcoin right now, is going to exude bullish behavior on the macro. We know that. And that's the common denominator. So by no means am I telling you to short this coin, nor am I telling you it's going to drop hard. If it does pull back, it would be a realistic pullback to local fib levels or previous resistances turn support, such as $2 even, 210, 217. Those are three areas of consideration. Those are the red lines on the chart here in case you're not familiar. When we take a look, though, at the overall sentiment here, macro's good. RSI is looking pretty decent. We still got more room for improvement here. In other words, Bitcoin, Solana, coins I cover consistently, they're coming back down from being overextended on the RSI, where SUI is still getting started. In other words, there's more room for improvement here, which implies further upside is still likely. Taking a look at the daily time frame, we can summarize that's good. 4-hour time frame now. We can recognize here that we're still in pretty good shape. When we talked about this yesterday, there was potential to test this lower level here and to break down as low as about 217 and bounce off that. The price wicked down to 220, as we saw on the charts, and didn't essentially close below. And if you don't close below or above a key level support, what do you know? It's not going to continue that way. It'll likely hold and continue the opposite direction, which is done. So we're still in this range, but we still kind of can summarize that we have closed above 236. So the general consensus here is that depending on how SUI behaves in the next couple of hours or few hours will determine moving forward how much further up it's going to go. Either way you look at it here, we got mostly bullish scenarios here. We're still over the 20-day SMA, so we haven't truly broken bearish. And at this point, RSI is really close to 72, so letting us know we're getting closer to our top, but there's still more propensity to increase and run. We got a MACD converging here as well. So the 4-hour time frame has definitely shifted its momentum. We got a local point of control here. Essentially, that's the open interest about 230. So we have a moderate amount of support there. So hypothetically, this is how things should work. SUI can be an exception sometimes, is the price action to come back down if it were to, bounce off 230 and continue higher. Okay. Or in this case, it consolidates, goes sideways for a few hours, and then legs up again because it has officially broken its resistance. There's not enough selling pressure to bring the price action back down. Hourly time frame, last but not least, Ichimoku Cloud confirming that we're once again back above. In fact, I don't even want to say once again back above because the truth is we never broke below. And if you're familiar with my Ichimoku Cloud video and how I describe how it works, or just in general you understand how it works, the lagging span being free and clear is positive. But let's just rewind and say like yesterday, for example, when I was telling you that it should break down, but we got to wait for confirmation. While it didn't break down, the reason, part of that reason is that we've been honoring and respecting the ascending trend here based on the Ichimoku Cloud, the lower lead. When you are within the cloud, as I talked about yesterday, I emphasize this, do not take a trade until it breaks above or below. Okay. Now that it's broken above, hypothetically, a long position should find more success. Therefore, we have support below us, point of control, lagging spans free and clear, conversion lines over the baseline. There's every reason right now that a long position makes more sense than to take a short. Okay, and again, that seems probably contradictory because yesterday I was saying to be careful in taking along because we are testing a lower support level. The more often you test something, more likely it is to break. Well, now that we've confirmed that that support level exists and we have a secondary support at 230, the logical thing to do now is to consider going up versus going down, and because it doesn't make a ton of sense to short into this. Okay, you really just don't want to short SUI, period. But if you're going to do anything right now, a long makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to go ahead and post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord so you can see that, so you understand generally what that looks like. I always post those daily after I analyze my charts. And then if you want to become part of something bigger, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. We've got a Trading Academy community and signals group. We had a lot of new members onboarding yesterday and the day before, which is fantastic. Thank you again for your vote of confidence coming over. And I can tell you that we got a phenomenal community, and it's a really cool experience. So welcome aboard to those who are newer. Be sure in our Discord you read through our trade alerts, because I provide you with kind of indications on coins I'm planning to take a trade with. Same thing with our signals guide. You need to know how I structure my trades. Not everyone's risk tolerance meets mine, so you want to adjust accordingly. Then obviously our premium plus groups here is kind of, looking at the past history, of course. Our most recent trade, Bitcoin 56% from 70,000 to 76.9, and we have a short open with Bitcoin from 76.9 to 75.3. So we're halfway to our target there already. Either way, you never truly know what's going to happen, but when we all join together, we band together, we have much more success, and that's the whole point of this. So thanks again. Have yourself a great rest of the day, wonderful weekend. We'll see you back on Monday. Take care.